Alright, so this guy is trying to get into Diamond Elo, or trying to get eventually to a point where he's good enough to hang in the bigger Elos. Okay, so that's what we're going to be looking at right now. Again, if I get one more sub, I will do another one after this, as promised. But for the meantime, this will probably be the last video we do today on stream. Fluffy, oh, it's not Fluffy Muffins. What's your name, man? Lardius77 says, trying to go pro one day. MLG pro, dude. Trying to figure out the little things to make him better. Taking teleport because he understands the opportunities that are associated with teleport. You know, could flank and gank and all that shit. I'm gonna bring the chat up so I can see that shit. This is a platinum range game, low diamond game. So I'm going to tell you what I think about your performance here. Okay, you get first blood. Weird trade, but whatever. You get 2 assists. You get first blood and 2 assists. What do you buy? Okay. Amp Tome's fine. Traditionally, I like to go double Dorans to try to push my lane around. With Lux, in particular, I like to try to push my lane around. But the Amp Tome is fine. In this particular game, I would probably be looking to go Mage Eyes after the start. Anytime that you go in for trades as Lux, you have to preempt skill shots. I know it sounds obvious, but like here, you could have easily baited that out. You want this? By the way, this is a guy trying to get to the diamond range, so I'm gonna be a little harder on him. Bear with me here. So we're trying to get him from platinum and then eventually to a higher elo. Okay, here he's locked into place for a long time. Fake aggression, move to the side. Okay, fake aggression, move to the side. This is a skill shot that you'll dodge 100% of the time unless the guy soul reads you. There's absolutely no reason to get hit in this trade. Okay, and you get hit with the Q. I don't like that. Really, when you lock people up as Lux, you really gotta abuse that long bind. It's a long bind time. I like that you're manipulating the passive. You're using the passive to your advantage. This is all good. Trying to outpoke, which I do think you have an edge over Ezreal in most matchups. Especially, is this AP? Oh, it's AP Ezreal. Yeah, you should absolutely. You basically are what AP Ezreal would wish he could be. If AP Ezreal could have a sex change and become a Lux with as much damage as she has, he would do it. But he can't because he's AP Ezreal. And he's kind of weak. Alright? This is good damage. I would definitely be getting up to this guy's ass at this point. I feel like you're playing a little bit more passive than I would play. I would be stepping over the minion wave and challenging a gank. Most of the time, dude, Yi is not going to be killing you anytime soon. And Ezreal doesn't have Ignite. Yi is very unlikely to... I mean, we have vision of him on the replay, but he's very unlikely to come after you. And if he does, it's a very easy escape. Just kind of save your bind and then walk away. And wait until he queues onto you, and that's it. He's fucked. But yeah, I would be getting up his ass with that early advantage. And I don't think he burned flash. Yeah, he didn't burn flash or anything in the invade. But even still, like I would be trying to win that lane with teleport with your start. So he kind of plays you there. This is why traditionally I like to lead with E and not your Q first. The Q is a lot more reliable, and then if he E's forward, then it's a free Q most of the time. But once he sees you both, he's green lit. And this is one of those spots that you don't really know until you've played the matchup a couple times. But you can see right there, he can play you if you learn both. And remember with Lux, don't just throw out both skill shots willy-nilly. Really think about that Q before you do it. In these trades, especially, you know, especially versus a champion with the gap close like Ezreal. So he kind of beat you in that trade, and it was really well played by him there to do that. But on the whole, you're doing okay. Like I said, I would have liked an early Doran's Ring as opposed to the Amp Tome. It looks like you're farming Okay, let's back this up a little bit. So your item, you go with the Fiendish Codex, which means you're probably uh, going for like Morello or something, which is fine. I don't really have a problem with that. I don't like your farm right now. I think you could be doing a much better job with it. If you strike me as the type of person that isn't comfortable with like going too nuts, which is fine. I have no problem with that. But your farm, if you're trying to make it to the next level, you need to practice last hitting and just focus on getting those last hits out. Because currently, I'm gauging you based off the lane phase as somebody who isn't really trying to get in people's faces and just dominate the lane, which is fine. If you don't play like that, which is kind of how I play on Lux, I really do like to push my limits on champs when I think I can get away with it. It doesn't have to be that way, and I definitely can deviate off of those styles. I think for you, what I would focus on is getting out of lane phase with better last hits. Really working on getting those last hits on your first back and nailing that aspect of your lane phase. Because if you can constantly, every lane phase, come out of lane phase with stable last hits, around now, I think you should have way more than you have. I think you should have like 24, something like that in that range. Maybe even 30 if you're farming really, really well. I'm not sure exactly how this works out, like mathematically. No, it's probably like 24 or something like that. But right now, I don't like that you're missing so much CS on a lane that you pretty much have control over, and it doesn't really feel like you're playing super aggro. So yeah, really, really bear down on that. And if you have to go into a norms game and just practice, just relax, turn on some chill music and just practice for a little bit. Go into custom and do it. I mean, it's really important on Lux. If you're talking about getting to the next level on Lux, a big part of that stems from whether or not you're able to get your items and farm well. I put Lux and Gangplank and Ziggs and Xerath all in the same category in my mind of champions that if you hit the CS, you play passive, you will win a fuck ton of your games just by getting that damage out and getting those items up, not trying to swag on anybody, just hitting stable farm. It's something that, yeah, 26. I thought I was 24 or 26, something like that. I know it was close. And, you know, Froggen, obviously. Watch a guy like Froggen play mid lane. Like, you want to do Lux as a champ, that's great. I appreciate you submitting this champ because I love Lux. Watch a guy like Froggen play in lane and really try to nail this fucking lane phase. Really work at that. If you want to get to that next level, really fucking be mad at yourself when you miss farm and really think about the way that the minions are autoing. And the key with farming, obviously, watch what minions are aggroed to closely as you're farming. That will let you get that rhythm. Get that rhythm in there and you won't miss the farm like you just missed right there. That's how I do it. That's why my farm is normally really, really stable. If there's anything that I do well on the streams, I may make mistakes, but I normally farm pretty damn well through most of my games. And that's something that I think if you're going to be playing this type of champion, you want to make sure that you're getting that shit, getting it in, and doing a better job. Here's a great trade. Ezreal goes kind of stupid there. Really slow it down and try to get his barrier, his flash in these spots because you have the edge. You're playing very defensive here. Looks like you're looking for a teleport or something. You have the edge here. You definitely have the gold lead. You're facing AP Ezreal. Don't be afraid of this. If you're not going to be focused on stable farm, don't be afraid to get up in this dude's grill. Because if you're missing farm as Lux, it better be... Yeah, he definitely seems to understand that that trade a little bit better than you do. I mean, I probably would have messed that up too sometimes. Because he's definitely going right in for it when he sees you miss. Which is good. But it did look like you tried to throw a Q as soon as you jumped in, so that's all well and good. The good news is if you get pushed out of lane, you can always teleport back. Staying behind the minions, it's all good. I got no complaints here. I thought this was AP Ezreal, but it doesn't seem like his... So if he's AP Ezreal... I don't understand what this guy's doing. If he's AP Ezreal, it should be maxing W. But he's got a Doran's Blade, so who the fuck knows what's going on anymore with this guy. Very strange. So you shove the lane. Looks like you're thinking about backing. Yeah, I would probably back and... Whoa, what is that? Alright, no. That's just never going to happen. Your mana's too low to look for that. Mana's way too low to look for that. Like, it's good that you canceled your teleport there, but I wouldn't even have been... I wouldn't have messed with that one. That's just too... To me, that's just too risky of a spot to try to teleport in. With such low mana. I like that you're aware of what's happening, though. You have good awareness, but I just think the mana was too low. You're going to have to burn Flash. It's Riven. And then in the nightmare scenario of her jumping away from you and getting out of it, that would have been gross. So let's look at this again. Yeah, you can't. You see what this trade every time he does it. This is a spot where I don't think you're adapting very well to this guy's tendency. If he's gonna E into you, like every time you throw, you just can't do it because he's winning. He's even a level down. He's winning that trade against you every time. You cannot go into him with both like your E and your Q on cooldown. She didn't flash, did she? Wait, why did she flash? What? Ah, okay. Okay, it's fine. That's a fine attempt. You knew his E was on cooldown, so you went for it. I don't mind it. Yeah, I'll probably do the Malphite game if you sub after this. I don't mind you going in for the flash. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. Like, it's a good move. It's a really good move. It's unfortunate that he dodges it, and he doesn't even feel like he doesn't even feel compelled to flash, which basically means you got gamed, but wow. Yeah, he's just, dude, luckiest man alive.
Thank you for subscribing, Cracker. Now welcome to the Nisi sub train.
Gabs Piano's in. Thank you for subbing. Welcome to the Nisi sub train. Everyone drop the sub hype train. Welcome him. Welcome him. So here, very easy combo for you. Very clean. Your positioning's fine. There's nothing wrong here. Nothing wrong. You make some picks. You're doing the best you can with Lux. You're playing Lux exactly how I'd want you to play it. There's not much. I mean, there really isn't much to say about Lux. You're positioning fine. You know, you can only do so much with your cooldown rotations. I got that. Your farm's looking okay. I could be better. Okay, what happened here? Let's back this up. You have the pink ward there. Let's talk about your positioning here for a second. Alright. One thing I don't like about this, I don't like your decision to come off in zone, obvious zone. You didn't use this. I don't like that you don't use this here. If I'm in this spot, the way that you were coming down, look at this for a second. I want you to see it. I want you to see how you missed this opportunity to set up a nice freebie. This is a freebie for you that you can very easily play. Pink wards are everything for champions like Gangplank, for Morgana, for Lux. Any champion that relies on like a nice pick. Lux in particular, like, really wants to get the full combo on somebody. You don't, in this particular play, and like I said, I'm only being harder on you because you're higher rated, right? You're trying to get into diamond range, okay? These types of spots are opportunities for you to get money. Like, just fucking print kills and print money on these weaker players. These guys are weaker, okay? And I know it sounds kind of insulting to you now, but they're weaker. They're not thinking about you sitting in this brush. All they know is that you're missing. They don't even consider the possibility that you're here until you show yourself. You have to maximize the use of spots like this. The dragon is happening. It's okay. People, in order to fight in this particular spot, people have to walk by you. You have to know that they have to walk through you and you're covered. They're not going to see you. So they're not going to play back at this. You have an opportunity to throw a blind combo that no one can really... The only way that they can react is if they're watching the brush. This dragon is super distracting for that. So unless they're fucking a micro hero or they're scripting, they're not going to see this coming. But the way that you play it is wrong because you step out of the brush and tell on yourself, and you make it so easy for them to react to what you're doing and pick you off. Bait this spot is so baitable. Just look at the team for a second, okay? You have what? Riven, Yi, Ezreal, Jinx, and Thresh. So you have 3 champions that will have to, if they're going to contest this dragon, they will have to walk through here. I mean, even if they didn't, like, even if they had a Caitlyn here, give them the opportunity to walk through this. Don't ever show yourself in spots like this. This is this is a gold mine for you. All you have to do in big fights for objectives is just hit a big combo. That's it. One big combo fucking wins the world in these spots. But the way that you elect to play it is bad because you're trying to help your team, right? But you're not thinking about the way that this is actually going to go down. You're just seeing, well, I got to throw a shield here. Fuck that. Bait them here because you're big enough to where one combo is going to remove some of these squishier targets from the fight. So it's okay to bait the objective so long as you hit a big combo here. Thresh isn't going to do anything on his own. Wait for it. Wait for Ezreal to come through. Wait for Yi to come through. So many targets. Exactly. So many targets, man, that you could just bait out. Just let your team do their thing and then execute this spot. But the way that you play it is what's all fucked up. Because look, now, as soon as Thresh sees you, he reacts. Do you think that if you were sitting in the brush here and you throw that bind, do you think he's going to react that fast? Maybe. Maybe not. But you'll never know because you played it this way. Heck, give it a second. See who else is coming through here. Try to lock up 2 and hit a big combo. It wins the objective. This is like old school Siege Poke 101, okay? These spots are prime. They are absolutely prime for you to win an objective. Nidalee, like when I used to play AP Nidalee Season 3, for example, these are the spots that are fucking cash cows. Same with Lux, same with Xerath. These are your money spots. People have to come into area that they don't have vision of and try to take an objective, and you're just free to just fire, fire, fire. And whoever set this pink ward up, it might have been you, I don't even know, but whoever set this pink ward up is giving you like the alley-oop of the decade, okay? And I know that I've talked on this spot long enough, but I really want to hammer home how important it is to use vision. For the higher up you go, people expect you to show up. But if you're not covered by vision, they'll walk into your shit all day, all the way up to Diamond 1 and beyond, all day, dude. They'll walk into these combos. And because you show yourself, they all know how to play it. Because now they see teams doing dragon, Lux is out of position. And we could just isolate Lux and then maybe try to contest dragon. The other big thing that I want to hammer home about that is I feel like you got the vibe so far based off how you're playing, but you really, I mean, dude, Lux is all about just sitting back, baiting your team, bait your team, bait your team. And anytime you die on Lux, that's your game kind of slipping away. Lux's strengths are she keeps turrets alive and gets big pick opportunities all throughout the game, like, 12 minutes on. So if you start dying and fall behind at all, it's going to really hurt you later on. Like I said, I'm not going to dwell on it too much because it happens, whatever. Sometimes you make those poor decisions. But I really want to make sure you know that, like, you cannot die free of charge as Lux. It takes, you got to have that positional prowess. There, Rengar doesn't lead with his E. You try to follow up with some damage, which I like you trying to do. It's okay. It happens. At least you tried to get damage off. I didn't like his dive, by the way. His dive was aggressive. There. That's fine. That's fine. I was going to say save your skill shot for a moment, but he flashes anyways. Okay, so here. Yeah, make sure. Okay, you are resetting the passive. Good, okay. Yi elects to flash. Ashe kind of face tanks it. And you're Lux, so you should win that trade, I think. Yeah. And you get a nice shutdown. Good. And, wow. Fucking close call, dude. Here you should be looking to back. You got no mana. You're not doing anything. Get out. You shouldn't be here. How much gold did you have, too? 900? Okay. I guess if you got blue buff coming, it's fine. It's not that bad to stay there. Because I wasn't timing the blue buff in that spot. Just because I'm doing the replay. So I'm not watching the timers. But if you knew blue buff was up, it's fine. I just want you to know, when you're aiming these, really bear down on the targets that you can actually pick reliably. I mean, that's fine. Your team made that one really fucking easy for you. Smart disengage. This is all good. You're staying in the back. You're sieging. I have no problems with this. I'd be going Mage Eyes here, and I hope you do. No, Mage Eyes. Nope. Nope. Go Mage Eyes there, dude. Absolutely gonna go Mage Eyes every time in solo queue. Every time. No reason not to. You're 4-1-4. Their team can dive you, yes. But no, I'm not worried. I would go Mage Eyes like every game. I have no doubt that you should be able to control the game with the Shen and with with you being Lux, you playing your front line. I do it like every game, dude. Just Mage Eyes, solo queue, Mage Eyes. Your build is fine. I don't mind the Morello, but after Morello, go Mage Eyes. You have really low chance of dying. You have tons of opportunities to get assists, to get kills, to stack that item, and there's like no downside to this, unless they had a comp that you truly were scared of, and I don't believe that you're gonna just fucking get wiped in these fights. You should know by now who's gonna come for you and just plan accordingly. You have to worry about Riven and Yi, that's it. So looks like you try to steal the dragon, you don't succeed. Someone gets picked off, it happens, whatever. This position here You're doing what you can. You realize that you're kind of caught off. You run back. That's cool. Thresh kind of tries to pick you. At this stage, focus on clearing the waves as fast as possible. You should be helping Ashe clear. That way you bought time. And I don't really see anything too crazy happening here. You're just sitting in the back. I would strongly be considering upgrading your... No. Actually, hold on. In the future, don't go. Dude, just upgrade the Oracle. I think it's called Oracle. The red trinket. Upgrade that tier 2. Trust me on this one. I play Morgana, Lux, Gangplank. Trust me on this one, dude. Just go for the dewarding trinket. So, I'm adjusting your style a little bit. And you can always, just say fuck Nisi and do whatever you want. But I'm telling you right now, once you get better at understanding the positioning, it's sweepers, right? Once you get better at understanding the positioning, you should be just clearing wards and just controlling brushes nonstop. Anytime that thing's off cooldown, you would just walk into the brush, clear ward, and then just chill the fuck out and wait for opportunities. Seriously. The vision, you getting the vision doesn't matter if you don't know where vision is of the other team. Like, as long as you can clear vision for your team, someone on your team will handle vision, right? Your fucking support will. People are upgrading trinkets more and more now. Like, get that fucking... Yeah, here it is. Oracle's Lens. It is Oracle's Lens. You fuckers. Told you. But the key here is to make sure that you're clearing those wards, man. And making those picks later in the game. So it looks like they're trying to make a pick on you. Siege down mid. Your Lux, you shouldn't be concerned. I don't like the ult usage there. That's kind of that was a waste, in my opinion. I guess you're only on a 40-second cooldown on the ult, but I don't like that as much as just throwing an E out. The wave was pretty thin. You want to manage those big cooldowns, even if it's a 40-second cooldown. Like here, this is the wave you want the ult, now you don't have it. That was a mistake. See what I mean? You could have burned that wave and saved the turret. Your team's doing most of the work for you. I want you to note, if you had Mage Eyes, you'd be stacking right now. Okay? You'd be stacking way more AP than you're at right now. Your positioning's fine. I think you get flashed on there. Right? I think you get flashed on there. Not much you can do about that. Other than anticipate a flash. Which in that particular instance, your Mage Eyes would have fucked you over. But I was gonna say, after Mage Eyes, you should probably be going for Zhonya's. And then that'll balance out the build. The Yi plays it well to have his flash up still and all that, and he's obviously massive. But regardless, I still like the idea of using your positioning to your advantage. In that spot, by the way, I think you could have even anticipated how this was going to go. Your team wins 2 turrets, right? I believe they win this one and this one. But if I'm wrong, either way, they win an objective, right? After an objective, traditionally, as you climb, what's going to happen is fights like these crop up, where the enemy team is now leaving base with items, and they are grouped. They are grouped. By default, they will play this fight better than you will because you need to back. You need to buy items. You need to get mana. You need to get health. All this shit. It's just an overstay spot. Exactly. It's just an overstay spot. Most of the time, I would flame you for this, but I do think positionally you were relatively safe. It's unfortunate that he has flash there for you, but I think positionally you played it pretty damn well. You stayed towards the back. You tried to stay safe. That's all you really can do. You get a little close here, and you try to proc your passive one too many times, and that's what triggers the Yi flash. But you do trade a shutdown, so, you know, could go either way, I guess, is what I'm saying. It's just a rough spot. Yi plays it really well. He's fed. What can you do, you know? Yeah, Shen and Wukong kind of put you in a questionable spot there. I'll grant you that.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Alright, this looks like it could be game deciding here. This is a spot where those D-Ward trinkets are your friends, man. Alright. Yeah. You were so lucky that Riven didn't kill you. Yi's fed. He's backdooring your team. There's not much you can do in that spot. Like, he's doing the right thing in split pushing in this spot here. No one can really sustain him. The QSS dive, yeah, this guy's pissed. This guy's furious. I'll say, in your defense, my friend, you ran into a Yi that carried pretty fucking hard, and that can be tough to overcome because, I mean, he's playing out of his mind well. He isolated you down here when your team overstayed. He made the correct call. Made the correct call here to split push, to dive 2v1. I mean, that's a really tough position to be in, even for Lux. And the other thing is I want to add about what he's doing that's really well, or that he's doing really well, is he's denying you the opportunity to delay the game to the point of where your team can come back from him being fed. So this dude is carrying this one right now. And sometimes you're going to be in a situation like this where, you know, some guy gets way out of control and plays it really well. It's not to say that this is like Yi's fed GG or anything like that. He in particular is playing his lead very, very well. There's not much you can do other than work off your team fighting and just hope for the best. As a group, the only way that you can really win is by isolating the Yi and picking him off. Unfortunately, I don't think anybody on your team in this game has the capability of doing that. And that kind of leaves you at a disadvantage because if he keeps running around and split pushing like he is, there really isn't much to be done here. In this particular instance, I might have considered teleporting there as soon as I finished blue, just because it was pretty obvious that if you don't teleport there, there's absolutely no chance of ever catching the guy. And your Ashe was in position to maybe fire up a CC, and then you could stun lock him and then combo him, and you might have been able to burst him down. So there's a spot where I think you could have elected to teleport top, and I think it would have worked in your favor, based off where your Ashe was and where your Rengar was. And maybe save the turret. So, yeah, man, overall, I think you are playing pretty solid. Like I said, this was a game where, unfortunately, your opponent is pretty good, and he gets a big lead, and he knows what to do with it. However, I do think, like, the positioning with the pink ward and some itemization choices and farming, I think those things you can improve, because if you're playing solo queue with a champion like Lux, you pretty much have to go into the game with the intent to carry, go big or go home. And Lux is kind of not kind of, is kind of, she's beyond a fucking, a need for like an insta fucking Rabadon. You could just go Zhonya's every matchup and be safe. And it looks like you pick off Ribbon there, and this is where you want to be. You want to be turtling. Unfortunately, though, for you, he's already broken one. Now he's breaking the other. In hit. But, you know, people are saying that Rengar stinks and Wukong stinks or whatever. I think that in this particular game, the Yi was just funneled so much gold, and he knew exactly how to play you guys with it. And you got caught in situations where he was allowed to split push freely while you guys were posturing at Baron, and that's really what fucked the game over. More than anything. Your build and stuff, the pink ward usage and all that, positional errors and shit like that can be improved. I do think you play a little passive in lane when you were given an early lead. I think you should have tried to abuse that a little bit more. And the Magi-Eyes, I think Magi-Eyes would have been really good. Because at the end of the day, you are trying to carry people in solo queue. Magi-Eyes and Zhonya's would have been your best bet to do that. You could have went Magi-Eyes, then built towards Zhonya's, and that would have allowed you to maybe bait something later on in the game. But like I said, this was a rough one for you. And I will grant you that this was a rough one. But if you control your vision better, you can make some better picks in spots and could get you out of this hole that you're already in. Okay. I'm going to shut this replay review down. Who was my recent sub that wanted the, well, hold on. Let me end this video first. All right. I'm going to shut this replay review down. You guys on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. This was Lardius77 on Lux. Trying to get up to that diamond bracket. Played pretty well, pretty well. Just the little things to correct here or there. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, all that stuff. And I will see you next time. All right? Peace, crackers.